As you see, the grapes do really well in Hawthorne. They seem to like the desert. These are very nice. And then these red ones are about 4.5 feet tall. And the best thing about them is that they smell just like perfume. They're so fragrant you can smell them from the street. And look at the size of the blooms on them. Hi everybody, I'm with my friend Kellie at the Mineral County Museum, and she's got something to tell us today. So Kellie's been working on this project for about a year. What's going on, Kellie?
I have a historical walking tour of Hawthorne that's available here at the museum if anybody wants to get it and go walking around town. It's just something to do, and today Doug and I are going to do it for you.
We've got a lot of ground to cover today, Kellie. So why don't we take our bicycles on the walking tour?
Good idea.
We're gonna go into the cemetery, see what we can find. Well, everybody, the Mineral County Museum in Hawthorne got a very, very nice donation from Jessica Barlow Daniels. And look at this amazing cash register that she bought for the museum. You don't see these around too often. That's a really nice one. Something interesting about Jessica Barlow Daniels that just donated that cash register is her family has a lot of history in the area, and here's an excerpt of someone that she's related to. It's kind of a sad story, but it's history nonetheless, and we're going to read it. About 9 o'clock last Friday night, a shocking accident occurred at the Candelaria W&M Company's mill in Candelaria, Nevada, which resulted in the instant death and awful mutilation of Charlie Barlow, a boy well known in Hawthorne. From what we can learn, the mill machinery had been stopped to allow a torn bed to be spliced. As soon as the belt was mended, young Barlow left his place at the dump where he was employed and went up to the loft and tried to assist the men below by pulling on the belt. So he was an active young guy that wanted to work, and he was willing to help out another part of the mine. When all was ready to start the machinery, the battery feeder cried, "All clear!" As no answer was made to his warning, the machinery was set in motion. After 1 or 2 revolutions, the men below were horrified to see the young man's leg hanging below the battery door. The engine was stopped at once and the lifeless body released. The supposition is that the unfortunate youth lost his balance and was drawn in by the revolving wheel and was powerless to extricate himself. The body was shockingly mutilated. He was only about 17 years old. His widowed mother and 2 little children reside in Hawthorne. The remains were brought here last Saturday for interment. The funeral was largely attended, and the afflicted mother has the heartfelt sympathy of this community in Hawthorne, Nevada. The accident occurred on August 6, 1890, and there's a picture of the young Charles Edwin Barlow. Very tragic. Well, we're in the cemetery, and this is part of the walking tour also. A lot of history here, and we're gonna find somebody here. We're in the Barlow family plot, and here we find is buried Charles E. Barlow, aged 18 years, 6 months. And here's buried Charles. Had an unfortunate accident, and his life was unfortunately cut short, but here he rests. Aren't there a lot of other famous people, for instance, like Judge Barlow and so forth, that are buried here?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's lots of people that are buried here that are in those history books. Look at these. These are all children.
Oh, that's sad, Kelly.
Yeah, they are. All of them are children, all the ones with the flowers. Wow.
That one's all the way from 1944. James Darrell King.
Look here, this was a prominent citizen of Hawthorne when its very beginning. Samuel T. Kelso, 1849 is when he was born.
There's the rest stop right across from the museum. This is the Ordnance Museum. All kinds of tanks and weapons, bombs, you name it. That one came off my old ship, Terrier. And some of these 5-inch 54 rounds. Here's the old USO Club, the USO building from 1942.
Throughout World War II, the Hawthorne USO fulfilled the United Service Organization's mission of providing a home away from home for members of the United States military.
So the old historic USO Club is now being used as the Hawthorne Civic Center. Next on our list, Kelly.
The Chinese Cemetery.
There's all the horses. Hey, buddies. Oh, they're pretty. They're all curious. Sorry, Kelly, I was visiting with all the horses back there. They're cute. What's that?
I thought that might be a detour for you.
So here's the Chinese cemetery, really close to the horse stables. And I noticed right away that none of the graves are marked.
No, there's not much left of the cemetery that indicate its location. There's not much to indicate that there's even a cemetery here, but there are Chinese bodies buried here. This was a cemetery many, many years ago, and a man came along of name of Delu, and he wanted to put in these altars so people could come and honor their ancestors.
I've noticed there's some oranges and some firecrackers there.
That's right, and they can put incense, or they can put fake money, they can put whatever they want, and they can burn that and clean this area up if they feel like it. That is a Chinese custom to do.
Now we're across from the post office. This is where the passenger station was for the Carson and Colorado Railroad. Here's where the old freight depot was, and it's now the Elks Club. There's an official Nevada plaque.
Yeah, it says, railroad officials created the town from the desert when the first lots were auctioned off on April 14th, 1881. Well, this is our Hawthorne downtown.
There's the old Joe's Tavern and the El Capitan Casino. This is the busier part of Hawthorne, Nevada. You've got the Travel Lodge right across the street. Hawthorne gets a lot of interesting travelers, being located right off the highway. And here we've got a whole club of Model Ts. We see all kinds of different groups of travelers come through town. And look at these Model Ts. Really like that car, sir.
Hi, thank you.
Look at this one. How fun is that? Look at the two-tone on that one. That's great. Where are you guys coming from?
We're from Winnemucca and the rest are from Reno area.
Oh, nice, nice. What a great outing.
I'm going to Death Valley.
Oh, going to Death Valley. Wow. Going to Death Valley in style. Look at that. Woo! They're all ready for the road trip. They've got their spots for all their luggage in the back. Look at these cars. That's something else. That's nothing unusual for Hawthorne. We see all kinds of different people with all kinds of rigs going to the desert, and sometimes big tractor trailer trucks.
one time this was the school administration building for Mineral County, but before that, about 1900, it was actually the high school.
Isn't that the old courthouse next door?
Yes, that's the old Mineral County Esmeralda Courthouse.
There's the old courthouse. It's a long, storied history. See, it's been recently boarded up. You can see there's still some snow on Mount Grant in the distance. Here's a better shot of it on this angle.
This is the old courthouse, and we're hoping to get it restored soon. This is a 1930s style Art Deco building, and the architect was de Longchamp. He was a very notable architect in his era.
Are there any plans for this building?
Right now, there's some people going to be moving into it and making it active again, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Here we have the old Cactus Theater, and this is a historic preservation project. Kelly, do you remember seeing any movies here?
Yes, I do. When I was in high school, this was our movie theater.
Yeah.
And my kids used to go there when they were really small, too. It was cheap to get in. For $5, they could get popcorn and a movie.
How fun.
Yes.
Here's the Mineral County Library, and right next to it is the Memorial Rose Garden. It's a little bit early in the season. The roses are just leafing out. They're not blooming yet, but you can see all the different roses. And almost all of these are planted in the memory of a loved one.
This is our Memorial Rose Garden, and if you walk around, you'll see signs of people that I know personally. Over the years, people have bought roses in the memory of their friend, their loved one, and you know, it means something to me. It's kind of almost like a live graveyard.
One of our neighbors, Annie, I believe she used to volunteer with her late husband here. They planted a lot of the different yucca bushes along the side and different things. So I know there's been a lot of volunteer work that's kept this up over the years.
Yeah, I've done some of the work myself in the past.
So roses do very well in Hawthorne.
Right.
Here's some more of the Barlow family. There's Art and Martha Barlow's rose.
Yeah, Martha Barlow used to be the county clerk here.
As I said before, the Mineral County Library is right behind the Memorial Rose Garden. And Kelly has some interesting news about this bookmobile that she'll be starting up here pretty soon.
Yeah, the library is getting ready to start running this bookmobile. They got it through a grant from the Museum of Library Services, and they had it converted. They haven't actually started using it yet, but they're getting ready to real soon. And it's meant to deliver books to shut-ins, people who are recluses or maybe you know, homebound for whatever reason.
Right.
And they call up the library, tell them what book they want, and they will deliver it to them.
And this starts at what, Armed Forces Day?
I think it's Armed Forces Day is the kickoff day.
Okay. So it's not in use yet, but it will be soon.
Very soon.
You can see how large it is. Are we going to the Rawhide jail next?
Yes, we are.
Right by the Mineral County Courthouse is the Rawhide, Nevada jail. Kelly, remember when we were up by Rawhide, we went to the Scheelite mine?
Yep.
So this is the old jail.
Yes, it is. It was once there. Rawhide was a real true boom and bust town. It practically boomed overnight, lasted about 3 years. They had like 7,000 to 10,000 people, and then it was gone overnight due to a fire.
So we were able to take a quick tour on our bicycles to Kellie's hometown of Hawthorne, Nevada. Tell us a little bit about Hawthorne, Nevada for those who are not familiar with Hawthorne.
Well, Hawthorne is the largest ammunition depot for storage in the United States, and it's also
Lots of bombs and missiles and things like that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of them. It's
Things
also,
that go boom.
Yes, and it's also known for the Hawthorne's Patriotic home.
Yeah.
So, it's all about.
Wait a minute, I thought Hawthorne was America's most patriotic town.
It is. I just said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had the biggest flag in the I think in the country almost.
Yeah,
It's
we
huge.
do have one of those big, huge flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely do.
What
and
about Armed Forces Day parade?
Yeah, Armed Forces Day we have it every year, and I believe it's the third Saturday in May, and it'll be coming up here real soon.
Okay. And we get a lot of visitors for that.
Yes, we do, every year.
And if you notice around town here, there's all kinds of whimsical things made from old bombs and things, like little flowers in the park and things like that. That it's kind of when you drive past or through Hawthorne, you'll see a lot of the munitions bunkers along the side of the highway and so forth. And we're real close to beautiful Walker Lake and this Sierra and all these other beautiful places in nearby Nevada. So it's a good stopping off place for Yosemite and a lot of different places. And definitely you want to check out the museums in our town.
Oh yeah, definitely stop by and see me at the Mineral County Museum. Well, that's it for our tour. And remember, you can get the paperwork over at the museum if you want to actually walk this yourself or ride a bike.
Hello everybody, it's Mail Call. I got a care package from Marcus. He's got a note here that says, "Hello Doug, just a few random supplies for you and Kellie's next adventure. Subscriber Marcus. He lives in Brea, California." What did we get, Kellie? Hand warmers. We already ate all the fruit. There's a bunch of fruit in here. Avocado, oranges, apples, all kinds of fruit. What else?
Grapefruit.
Oh, grapefruit, that's right. Oh, we got some candy too. Thank you, Marcus.